Even though the word starts with H, which is a consonant, the H is silent. The H is silent. So even though the word starts with H, it starts with a vowel sound because we say on. We don't say honest. We say honest. So even though it starts with a consonant, it sounds, when we say the word, it starts with a vowel sound. So we would use an. So Ben gets an extra bonus prize today. Chop, number 10.
She is an old woman.
Okay. Yeah, old, vowel sound, we use an. Let's see, Pip, your turn. An used because you is a vowel sound. And Pew, number 12.
It is a tall man. Tall T.
Tall. Yeah, I'm a tall man. That's good. You got the A or the N correct. That's problem. Correct. And egg, it starts with a vowel sound. It's a short E. It's not a long E. If we pronounce it with a long E, we would say eeg. But we don't say that. We say egg. It's a short E. Short E. And again, the only way to remember, the only way to know when the vowel sound is short and when the vowel sound is long is to just listen to people speak it correctly, and then you just learn it from experience. There are too many words to list, for you, which ones are short, which ones are long. You just have to have experience with the language, and you'll pick it up. It is an apple, right? Someone tell me, anyone, it is an old bus. It is correct, because the H is silent in hour. It's silent. And so it is a windy day. It is a good idea. And it is a perfect. You're getting really good at this.
100%.
You're getting really, really good at this. Now, let's practice. I'm sorry. Excuse me? Oh, what is a one-story building? Oh, you don't know what that is? Oh, that's a one-story building, only one story. And then there are some. That's a two-story building, because you have one story and then you have some stairs that go up to the next floor. And then there are some stairs going up here. That's a three-story building. So each level is called, when we're talking about buildings, each level is called a story. Story. Now, the same word can mean something else. in a different context. Remember I told you about context? In Thai, you can have the same word mean something different by changing the pitch, you know, the sound. Well, in English, we can have the same word can mean different things, but the only way you know that it means something different is by context. So if I said, later today we're going to read our story, I'm talking about a book, a story in a book. But if I said, our class is being conducted on the second story of this building. We're on the second level of the building. It's a story. So if we referred to a one-story building, it's just a building with one story. If we're talking about a building with 2 stories, it's a building with 2 stories. The skyscrapers, you know, that I see all over Bangkok, 30 stories, 40 stories, 60 stories. Those are stories. When we're talking about buildings. Now, we could also say floors. This building has 3 floors, or this building has 3 stories. It means the same thing. It means the same thing. So, thank you for asking that question. You know, I just assumed you knew. You know, and that's how you learn new words is by asking questions. You know, there's no such thing as a bad question. Always ask questions when you don't know. Yeah. Yes, Ben.
2 or 3 men can go inside one story.
How many?
But you draw only 1 man.
Oh yeah. Well,
I wonder
you could have
2 or 3 men can go.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
ชั้น
Yeah. You could have if this were a big building, you could have 10 men and women in the building. You know, depending upon how large the building was. Okay. We're doing really well. You got that pretty good. Did extremely well with that. I'm going to take up something real quickly. It's a very simple rule, and after we do that, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and work on some more lessons. Okay, when do we use there is, and when do we use there are? When do we use here is? When do we use here are? Real simple rule, real simple. This will be easy to remember. What we did before was kind of difficult, but you did really well with it. This is going to be easy. We use there is with singular nouns. That's very simple. We use there are with plural nouns. So, just one book here, right? There is a book on the table. Now, if we had many books on the table, well, let's just do this. Now, there are 2 books on the table. Plural subject. The subject is more than, 2 or more. So we use there are with a plural subject, and we use there is with a singular noun or subject. Or we could say, there are many books on the table. That's all you need to remember as to when to use there is and when to use there are. We use there is with singular nouns and we use there are with plural. And it's the very same with here is. Another mistake. I'm sorry. Another mistake. We should make this here, okay? So you can cross that out on your notes. So what I'm going to have to do is when I do my PowerPoints at night and it's late and I get sleepy, is I'm going to have to send them to Chop. I'm going to tell Chop to look for all the mistakes and then tell me so I can correct the mistakes. But we use here is with singular nouns and we use here are with plural nouns. So here is the book. Here are. Yeah, here are the books. So that's all we need to remember. So let's practice real quickly and we'll take a break, okay? On page 11, we'll do some practice. And so what we do is we just put there is or there are in the sentence. And I'll do the first one. There is a new moon tonight. Now,